In these frightening times, a malevolent individual can choose to attack a public place, figuring that there's nothing that can be done about it. This is no longer the case, thanks to Crotega's suppression system.
It's a horrifying possibility, and one that's happening more each day in this country. An armed intruder bent on doing harm. Whether deeply disturbed or driven by ideology, the results can be tragic, including massive property damage and loss of life, potentially costing a company millions. Traditional security measures, such as video monitoring, access control, and badge systems that rely on hired security guards, just don't stand up to someone determined to cause harm. And what if the threat comes from someone who's usually qualified to be on the premises? Clearly, building security needs to be rethought, and now it has been, thanks to Minneapolis-based Crotega.
I'm a former school principal, and I worked in high-risk schools. Studied school shooters, wrote a book about it. And when Sandy Hook occurred, I realized that I would have been that principal who stepped out in the hallway and was killed trying to protect my kids.
We needed to do something inside of school buildings, some sort of an interior suppression system, something that would take care of threats just like fire sprinklers take care of fires. The new interior SentriZone suppression system from Crotega is the first stratagem to suppress an intruder with a violent intent without risking direct confrontation in the process. Defense zones are determined, including the main foyer and other entrance zones around the building, setting up self-contained suppression units. Through this non-lethal method, the threat can be repulsed anytime an invader enters a zone protected by Crotega's SentriZone suppression system. Custom installed in the ceiling, the SentriZone suppression system deters, disrupts, and delays invaders until security personnel can neutralize them.
The security industry has struggled to find a solution to the rampage shootings and mass casualty events that we have seen more frequently in recent years. This is because traditional security measures are largely perimeter-based, intending to keep a threat out of the facility. Once that person has breached the perimeter, we then transfer responsibility for life safety from the organization over to the individual, which is irresponsible and unthinkable.
Crotega has developed our SentriZone suppression system to address this gap in traditional security measures. The SentriZone suppression system is deployed remotely by someone in a safe place equipped with a touchscreen control panel. It sprays the zone with a non-lethal water-based compound that irritates the skin, lungs, and throat, causing involuntary eye closure.
The perpetrator is visibly affected and experiences severe difficulty focusing on anything other than his own discomfort and disorientation. Meanwhile, authorized personnel are able to call for police to assist from a safe, remote location. As soon as the spray stops, responders can enter the area and control the situation.
I see the Crotega system as revolutionary, especially in the security space, especially in schools, school districts, which is where I do a lot of my work. A lot of school districts, as security's been more and more of a hot button issue, looking at ways cameras and alarm points and card access can all be used together to create lockdown scenarios, but a lockdown scenario really still allows an intruder to move around in that lockdown area. This Crotega suppression system actually neutralizes that intruder and completely minimizes the amount of damage they can do even in a secured lockdown area.
All that's needed is a ceiling where units can be installed.
The frequency of mass shootings inside of buildings has been increasing over the years, and there isn't anything else inside of buildings to suppress the shooter. Crotega is the answer. There's a paradigm shift going on, and Crotega is poised to be part of that new reality for life safety.
If one thinks about how fire sprinklers revolutionized fire safety, one can see how the widespread use of this system could allow peace of mind and unhindered functioning in public spaces once again. Protection from random violence is the right of everyone.